Okay. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dominic Mantuano. I am the Executive Director of the Connecticut Burns Care Foundation. We are an organization that serves children 8 to 17 all around the world that have burns. They come to our burn camp 1 week a year at Killingworth at Deer Lake to just be a kid. They don't pay a dime. No matter where they come from the Americas, Ukraine, Iraq, Iran, doesn't matter. We pay for everything. Then they need their surgeries. They go up to Shriners. They get those for free. Nothing out of their pocket whatsoever. They just get to be a kid. And they get to just laugh and have a good time. We come to you, and I have to say, unfortunately, we were one of the organizations that got the email that said we didn't get it this time. But if I could know when you're going to do it again so I could be the first one in line to send you that letter, that would be awesome. These children are different than any other organization you guys have ever had stand right here. The reason is because, well, they walk up to you and they ask for these grants and these things to help, and it's good. They try to raise money to get rid of whatever they're raising money for. That's the whole idea. That's the definition. But with me, I can't cure and we cannot eradicate burns. 200,000 children were burned last year in the United States. I can never close my doors. We're not going to cure burns. These children aren't born with burns. They have accidents. So the percentages break down to about 90% of the accidents are the old pot on the stove with the handle facing the wrong way. They go by running, they hit it, boom, they're burned. That is some of the biggest numbers we have. Unfortunately, accidents fill in the rest, and about 2 to 3% are where, unfortunately, the parents burn their own children. We have to be there for them, and we take that in consideration. But here's the good news. There was a gentleman named Arthur C. Luff, a Bridgeport firefighter, who got together with Dr. Panettiere and Dr. Pleban, and they said, hey, we do not have a burn center here in the state of Connecticut. Well, now we do because of that. If you are burned, God forbid, you are going to end up in Bridgeport. You will get care wherever you are just to stabilize you, but you're going to end up in Bridgeport Hospital. That's our burn center for the state of Connecticut. 1991, Arthur said, hey, we have no place for the children. So then he started the Connecticut Burns Care Foundation and said, we're going to send these kids to camp 1 week a year. Well, that's where I came in. We've had 4 executive directors. I am the 5th. No, I'm the 4th, excuse me. I don't even know what I'm doing here. But the fact of the matter is that I was a 13-year firefighter, officer, EMS, 9/11 responder. And I live, born, bred, New Jersey. I sit on the quay but watch the boys choit. Thank you very much. Hey, what exit are you from?
No, I was at Plainfield. We didn't have the turnpike.
Plainfield?
Yeah.
Plainfield? I'm from Middlesex Borough. How are you? We're neighbors, actually.
So, in high school.
Yeah, there you go. You're too young. All right, but yeah, I did all those things, and about 7 years ago, I met my soulmate. And she lived here in Connecticut all her life, and I was in New Jersey. She owned the house, I had the townhome, she wins. She brought me up here from Connecticut, from New Jersey to Connecticut. And I love her very much. But through her church, there was a gentleman for the Westport Fire Department, Deputy Chief Bob Kepchar. And he is one of our longest standing members of the Connecticut Burns Care Foundation. He found out that I was a firefighter, and I do something else. He also found out I sing. So I'm also the grand champion performer of the world. I sing opera and Broadway all over the United States and Europe, and I do have an album from Capitol Records, and that's what the ring is for. Winning the World Championships of Performing Arts. They were like, hey, that's a nice ring. Everybody goes, football? I said, nope, tried, didn't work. But singing worked out just fine.
Can we get a sample?
You will get a sample, yes you will. But this organization, by the way, has only 2 employees. That's it. Me and the other young lady in the office. And I am due to raise $548,000 a year. Me. because the camp cost an average of $158,000 to $164,000 a year. And that's not unforeseen things where kids want to come in the last minute. Remember, not a dime out of their pockets. We pay for the flights. If they can't do it, we'll pay for them to come in. So when I was told, would you like to come to camp? I said, sure, I can do that. I love these kids. I was a firefighter. I sang to him at, he'll know, St. Barnabus in New Jersey. Hey, no problem, He said, Dominic, easy. He said, listen, if you need a break, I'll put you back in the cart. We'll go to the top of the camp, take a breath, and I'll bring you back in. I got this. Don't worry about it. I do this the whole time. He brought me into camp. Every time I think about it, it changed my life. I saw these kids playing and yelling, having a good time. They weren't being bullied. They weren't being teased. They didn't have to worry about people staring at them. They were just having a good time. He had to bring me back to the top of the camp where I completely lost it. Gathered myself up and we went back into camp. And I said, I'm going to sing for these children. I'm going to raise money for these children. I'm going to give a percentage of every concert I ever do from now on to these kids. And I did. That's how I started for the first 2 years. Then the executive director left for things with her family and other opportunities. And I was 1 week away during COVID to signing with the Stratford Police Department. And other things came up. Bob got me an interview, and I'm the executive director of the Connecticut Burns Care Foundation. All volunteer. That includes our board. That includes everybody up at camp. We go to Deer Lake and say, get out. We're running it. And we fill it with all firefighters, retired, paid volunteers, retired, and I can't get it right. Paid, volunteer, and retired firefighters all fill the camp, some civilians, and we fill the camp with our people. And that is it. Nobody gets paid. We have people 38 to 42 years in our camp that keep coming back to give a personal week of their time for these kids. And when the kids graduate at 17 years old, they can't wait to turn around and come back as a counselor because it's their family. And we do that. Just recently, my life was changed, I told you, when I became the executive director of the Connecticut Burns Care Foundation, but it's just been recently changed again. I had the opportunity to go to the American Burn Association out in Phoenix, World Conference, and I met more people, and I met a lot more burn survivors. And we had in our mind, in the next 3 to 5 years, I don't want 1 week of camp, I want 2 weeks of camp for the kids. Not only do I want 2 weeks of camp for the kids, I want a week for adult burn survivors. So that was my plan, and when I got to the ABA, my wife said to me, she says, listen, we're a day early, there's the convention center, why don't we go over there, see if you can register a little earlier. I said, no, I don't want to do that. Well, okay, I'll tell you. The reason was I was standing around this pavilion of food. I was like, oh, I could have barbecue, or chicken looks good, Chinese, oh, okay. And she's like, come on, let's go see if we can register a little earlier. I'm like, oh, well, all right, let's go, So we walk over, sure enough, she's right? And, oh, my wife's always right. That's the way it goes. But she was right. We walk in, not a soul in there, but registration was open. And I walked in, 1, 2, 3, got my little name tag, put my newbie little sticker on there. I was excited. I said, oh, she had a great idea. Within 14 minutes, there were 3 people standing right there. All 3 were burn survivors. We don't say burn victims, we say burn survivors. Victims are the ones who did not make it. Burn survivors are the ones we support. And the burn survivors that were standing there were 2 board members and the president of the Phoenix Society, another United States-based program for burn survivors. Within 10 minutes, I had 3 new best friends. And the 2 gentlemen put their arms around me. They were burned over 80% of their bodies from accidents. And put their arms around me and they said, we're the new 3 Stooges. And it just brought me to tears. But that's not what changed my life. I listened to the burn survivors. I listened to our children. I listened to our adults. But I thought I was hearing them until I went through a very special exhibit. It's called A Mile in My Shoes. You walk into the exhibit and it looks like a 1970 store of shoes, like Kinney's shoe store. And you sit down and they give you a pair of shoes in your size, male or female. You put them on and there's an MP3 player. And you hear a 3 to 6 minute presentation of the burn survivor of the shoes you're wearing. Wow. And they talk to you in your ear a little bit about their story. I looked down, I saw that. Lon Brickman was the guy I had on. And I said to myself, okay. And it brought me to tears. I got up, I stepped out. All of a sudden, I don't know, how many of you ever seen that movie, The Matrix? Yeah, okay. Well, in the end, he sees everything in 1001010 computer code. Everything is computer code to him. All of a sudden, when people were talking to me about their burns over that week, I'm hearing them completely different now. I'm listening different. These children and these adults that we're going to be doing the program for, but the children, what we send to camp, they don't have anything. They have us. And a lot of the accidents happen because the parents themselves can't afford much. And they do the best they can to heat the house, to provide food, and just sometimes that leads to an accident. But I'm here to say that on your table are a little pamphlet, trifold. This is everything about us you can imagine. We are completely transparent. Now, how many organizations come to you to say, if you want to ever come have lunch with me, I'm in Milford. You want to see my books? No problem. I'll open them up. We'll show you every dime. Oh, I got a better one for you. How would you like to come to camp? Absolutely. You just tell me and come visit my kids. We'll give you a tour of the camp. And then we're going to bring you inside and we're going to have lunch with the kids. And while you're sitting there having lunch and you get a headache from them going, "Ah!" banging on the tables, you leave, and I guarantee you, each and every one of your lives will be changed forever. They just want to be who they were before the accident. And we treat them just like that. Because believe me, at the end of the week, we're like, go home! They're kids. They're just kids. They didn't ask for these accidents, they didn't ask for these burns. But I'll be, excuse my language, damned if they will not have a place to go. I will sell everything I own to make sure every child gets to go to this camp. And I am proud to say that I'm standing here today with one of the finest clubs, the Rotarians, in the world. And I say that because I am a proud Rotarian of Stratford, Connecticut. And I'm the incoming president. Don't clap, they tricked me. 3 months into joining, I got a handshake about 2 years ago, and she says, do you like our club? Yeah. Do you like what we stand for? Yeah. Do you like our people? Yeah. Good, you're president in 3 years. How'd you do that? But we teach our kids the 4-way test because I believe in that. They need to know that. We raise that flag, we bring it down every night. We teach these kids respect. And the 4-way test, you have got to believe. What a way to let them memorize it and live by that code. At the end of the week, they walk up to you, they say, hey, you got a problem? No, you don't have a problem. Let me show you how to solve it. You have an issue? No, you don't have an issue. Let me show you how to deal with it. These kids go back to their communities after a week of regenerizing with their own peers to show other people, I'm not afraid. I'm not going to get teased. And if you do tease me, I'm going to show you why it's wrong. But then at the end of the year, they're tired. They're tired and they need to be re-energized. Where do they come? They come back to the Arthur C. Luff Burn Camp. That's where they come. And Rotarians and the 4-way test are a big part of that. And I'm honored to be president. I'm only joking. I am honored to be president. And I'm very lucky, by the way. I think. When you talk about being overlooked or somebody training you, maybe you get a good mentor. You know what I mean? Yeah, I got a couple. And I'm being hit from every angle. I have Stephanie Phillips, who is our incoming district governor. Well, Well, guess what? I have a former district governor, Jeff Krause, sitting there right next to me on the other end. And the next district governor, Don Wetmore, is one of my board members. And Don Wetmore is in my ear. So I got 3 district governors coming at me. I've learned a lot. I'm honored to stand here today at your club because I know how rich of a history this club has. You're an outstanding example to all of District 7980 about how you provide, run your business, and absolutely the utmost outstanding example of what a Rotarian should be. I can't thank you guys enough, and I appreciate this, for giving me the opportunity. And I have a proposition. So we teach our kids to give back. I don't like just coming and saying, well, thank you very much for that outstanding gift you gave us, and we'll see you next year. Thank you. No. Now, the kids don't have much, but I do. I also have my own sound and lighting company because I got tired of showing up doing concerts and everybody goes, here's a Radio Shack microphone. No, that's not what I asked for. So these gentlemen, they were all in suspense. I was trying not to tell them too much at my table over there. But I do have 40 years of experience in event planning. I also have my own sound and lighting company. Stage, light, pipes, drapes, spots, microphones, headsets, you name it, you got it. It's professional. I could do Madison Square Garden. I could do this room right here. Anytime you have an event, please reach out to me. As long as I'm available and the equipment is, it's free for your club. Do not pay. We will give it to you for free on behalf of the Stratford Rotary and the kids. The other thing is I'm going to be starting a program called the Helping Hands Program when I'm president. So you take your biggest event, which is...
Lobster Fest.
Whoa, everybody's like, Lobster Fest! I like it. It's food. But why can't, out of all of our Rotaries in the district, there be a place to sign up to say New Canaan's biggest event is the Lobster Fest? Every Rotary should be able to send one volunteer. That not only gets to know each other, so we're not so isolated in our own clubs, but when you have events, you can share it. And we should be able to come out and help you. And you could say, look, well, listen, we don't need 58 volunteers. Well, we need 10. We need 5. We need 6. And you let us know. And then people will be able to sign up and say, I'm here from Woodbridge, Stratford, Bridgeport, and you have your 5 volunteers. Now we get to know you. Now you get to know us. We should do it together. Many hands make light work. And I think Rotarians should start sharing and getting to know each other a little bit better. The other thing is I will offer you, to raise money, I will give you a free concert. You just have to give me the place, you sell the tickets, and you can use the money any way your club needs it, and it's completely free on my end, on again, from Stratford and my kids. And you can have it as a free fundraiser. The last thing I'd like to offer you is the golf tournament you guys were talking about. We do golf tournaments all year long with the firefighters. Nobody loves golf more than firefighters. If you guys want, when you do it next year, I assume next year your golf tournament, we will partner with you, the Connecticut Burns Care Foundation. I will get all my firefighters to play in your tournament. And yes, I would like some of the money to go to the kids if it's possible, but doesn't have to be all of it, and you can use the money any way you want. But I'll partner with you, and I'll get you the list of all the firefighters who will want to play in that tournament. And we'll make it a success. And I'll help you with the raffles, and we'll help you put it together. So you don't do it on your own, and you get everything you need. I believe in the kids giving you. So, do you have any questions for me? I sort of fire hosed you. One more thing before I answer questions. On the table is also our next event is the car show. If you like cars, everything from Knight Rider to the first Model T. It's a wonderful day. There are wonderful bathrooms because we're at Cinto Towers. There's food, ice cream, there's breakfast, there's coffee, it's free to the public. to come and walk around. It's going to be an awesome event. We also have our sponsor sheet. If anybody has a business and you want to be seen, this is about 1,000 to 3,000 people will see your ad. The other thing is, on the tables, you're going to see a menu. Listen to me. A calendar of events. I'm hungry all the time. Is a calendar of events of what we do. If any of you like to attend those events, you let me know. I can tell you, you will be blown away. Especially at our gala, where I bring in my Broadway friends, and we have shows, guitars from Bon Jovi, the Eagles, AC/DC. We have helmets from Green Bay, the Giants, the Jets. It is a huge night. Top shelf, 4 hours, open bar, surf and turf. By the time you leave, you'll definitely be saying, oh, this is a great night. I guarantee you. Now I'll open it up for questions. What can I answer? Yes?
Are you tied into the district managed grants, so you're getting money from Rotary?
So I do it as an individual. We don't do the district grants yet. I am working on that at the moment. I visit each and every Rotary myself, and I'm going all the way to Rhode Island and to the very tippity tops all the way down to New Jersey. I try to cover as much as I can by myself. Because again, we only have two.
Yeah, well, you are only one, but if we could get together with doing this district managed grant, then the district throws in a nice pot of money and the clubs throw in the rest, and could be real funds.
Well, listen, you know what?
Give me your card.
I will do that.
He's shuffling them first.
Oh,
I'm shuffling them first.
This one, this is the light show guy?
This is that's the kids, I promise. But yes, you and I can work together. You give me a call, I'd be honored to work with you. And again, every time I work, I'll take you out for lunch. Yes, sir.
I really take my hat off to you for what you're doing for these children. It's just, all of us who care about children, grandchildren, all the rest of it, we truly respect what you're doing and appreciate it. On the Rotary side of things, I think it's a great observation to have members of individual clubs